Buddy, and welcome to show number 146 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. Jimmy Palumbo coming to you for the first time in 2024. Sounds like a Star Wars movie. Show number 146 coming to you live from downtown Mahwah, New Jersey. Of course, behind the glass, everybody's favorite cowboy fan from downtown Mattawan, Dave the Cowboy Fan Sturchio. Dave, Happy New Year and welcome aboard here to the Jimmy Palumbo Show in a new year, bro. This is a new year where everything is possible, including every bill we get sent to our homes. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much, man. It's been a interesting last couple of days within the sports world, within just everything. New year. I don't like to do the whole new year, new me thing because it's like I'm the same guy, but it's just at the same time it's give a chance to reset and just kind of take things as they go. So
I always said the people that go out drinking like tonight, those are the pros. Those are the guys those are the guys later. Those are the guys you want to pitch game 5 in a series. You know what I mean? Like they can handle a little chill in the air at Fenway. They go scatter 7 hits over 6 innings. Me and my buddy Tommy always laugh. Anybody who drinks on January 2nd, you don't fuck with that guy. Especially if a guy walks into a bar right now and orders a wild turkey meat. You're like, I don't care if he's wearing a cowboy hat, giant hat. You just don't fuck with a guy like that.
I agree.
Let him enjoy his whatever he's staring at the bottles. That means he's in trouble. But of course, this is show number 146. War 1, Mike Dennis. If anybody gets who Mike Dennis is,
how did you not go Andy Pettit there, buddy?
That's like the easy one. Do you know who Mike Dennis is? Mike Dennis was a shitty guy in the secondary, the Giants in the 80s. Venditti just drove off the road on that one because I just mentioned Mike Dennis, which I'm not even sure of it. Matter of fact, I get the numbers wrong sometimes, and I get 8 months later, my brother catches up, and I catch up. But I'm pretty sure Mike Dennis was number 46. Shitty Giant. Anyway, the reason why I do this baseball card thing in the beginning of the show is for this player. This is, to me, the poster boy of why Jimmy Palumbo exists on this earth, why I can sit at a bar. And I think I should, next time I go to a bar, I'm bringing a stack of baseball cards. There'll be some random asshole sitting next to me.
The greatest conversation of all time.
Oh, but tell me if some guy walked into you next to a bar and you were in a shitty mood. All of a sudden, I started talking about Dave Magadan or some shitty, you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh my God, it's great. Like, I have some in my wallet too. Like, you'd be like, 2 kids, right? So, anyway, this guy.
I have the same card in my wallet.
Well, hey, who's that guy we got? Who's the guy?
Shit.
We can't even think of it. It was so bad.
It was so bad.
Anyway, so this guy here, on a crisp, clean, perfectly vintage card, I would be able to sell this at his show for $1 million if his name wasn't your friend and mine, Bill Pacoda. Now, this guy, he played 9 years, with the Royals. His last year was 94. He played with the Royals, the Mets, and then Atlanta. Now, the great thing about this guy, Bill Pacoda, and the name Pacoda is key, Pecota. First of all, his lifetime batting average, 249. He only had 148 RBIs and 22 home runs. In 92 with the Mets, he batted 227. He was a utility infielder. And in postseason with the Braves in 93, 1 for 3 in the playoffs. And he pitched 3 innings his whole life. With the Royals, when he pitched 2 innings, his ERA was 4.50. With the Mets, it was 9.0. Now, he was involved in a couple of things. Nobody knows who this guy is. However, he was involved in a huge trade. You were just a little child when the Royals traded him with Brett Saberhagen to the Mets for Greg Jeffries, Kevin McReynolds, and Keith Miller. They were popular players at the time. Now, here's the funny thing about Bill Pacoda that I learned, this is why I do this, okay? He played all 9 positions, all right? Only 22 players have done that, okay? Pretty cool. He hit back-to-back home runs with Bo Jackson. I think that's a funny stat. Okay. However, his first ever home run was the back-to-back. Bo Jackson hit a ball that it's online till you see it. And then he hit his first home run ever as a belly-to-belly with Bo Jackson. Okay. He only pitched 3 innings his whole life. Okay. But in those 3 innings, he gave up a cycle to Dave Winfield at Yankee Stadium. What are the odds? You pitched 3 innings in 9 years and you give up a triple number.
Solid claim to fame right there. Solid.
Right? It gets worse. Okay. He hit 3 home runs in one day. Where? At Yankee Stadium.
Oh.
But it was a doubleheader. Okay. But here's the crazy thing.
Spread out throughout 2 games.
Okay. Here's the crazy thing. That's the only 3 home runs he hit all year. You know how funny that is?
How embarrassing is that?
He wakes up in the morning. He has hit a home run all year. Yeah, honey, I got to go to the stadium today. I got to double it. It goes like, hey, I hit 3. And the rest of the year, nothing.
Wow.
And he was on the roster the whole year.
I'm having a hard time thinking if he was good or not, just as a whole.
No, he stinks.
Right.
Now, this is where it gets nuts. Okay, when he was on the Mets, he was the first position player ever to pitch for the Mets. It's a little old timers day in Mets Stadium. He'd definitely be a guy. Here's a guy who the first time position player pitched, and he gave up like 30 runs in the 1 inning. He got drilled all over the place. Here's the other thing. There's the system that a lot of major league teams use is called the Player Empirical Comparison and Optimization Test Algorithm. And if you add all those letters up, it stands for PECOTA. And the guy who invented it, Nate Silver, who maybe you know, he's one of those analytics guys who developed all these systems.
No shit.
He tried to come up with a guy. That's why he put the way he labeled it for the most average player he's ever seen. And that was Bill PECOTA. Like, he didn't do anything great, didn't do anything bad. There you go. He came back. Little fire in the kitchen there. But the fact that he played first of all, if you're a manager, wouldn't you kill for a guy who can play first, second, third, short, catch, pitch an inning if you're down 8-1 on getaway, Thursday getaway day, you're going to Fenway? You know what I mean? Like,
who's on the hill? I don't know. Throw somebody out there. Yeah. Pagoda, what's he doing?
Right. It's supposed to like he caught a little bit in high school, and in the minor leagues, he tried to catch for like a week, and he sucked. But when he was with the Royals, guy got hurt in the middle of the game. They went down, and the manager said, "You want to get back there? Get behind the dish." He's like, "All right, I'll go back there." But don't you think if a guy played every position, that should be the guy who gets $80 million a year?
Yeah. I mean, look at Ohtani just did, man. He only plays 2.
And he only plays 2. Can you imagine a guy? Imagine being decent at all 9. Or you can go in there and just that. To me, I wish baseball returned.
That stops happening around like Little League.
Like when you're like 9, you're
9. You're like, wow, that kid can play every position, and then like you just kind of choose which one you're good at the end of the day. But not this guy.
That's why I love reading about a major pitcher. You know, I don't know, Hall of Fame pitcher, whatever in the '80s, whatever, like a. What's his name? Even like a Pettit or one of those guys. All of a sudden, you find out he batted .790 in high school.
Right, guy never got out. Actually,
never made out.
Yeah.
Rarely. You know what? That's a great. I want to. Again, I have to go to the PECOTA system. Who is the worst hitting pitcher in high school in the major leagues? Think about that. Because most of the time they're like all over the place. Anyway, So this guy, I was roaring at the stupid little tidbits about this guy. And I don't know what he's doing now. He's about 65, but he makes fun of the fact he knows that he was like not that big a deal. Like you met him and Bo Jackson and that kind of thing. And the home run he hits is such a loopy, it's such a shitty home run. But he claims that he was like a spray hitter. He didn't strike out all that much. He sprayed the ball all over the place. He thought he said he was a classic baseball player from old school.
He's still alive?
He's still alive.
Well, then I guarantee you he would do the Jimmy Palumbo show.
Oh, we got to get him on. I'll send him. My new thing is I'm going to go back and send all these cards to whoever's alive. Some of them are dead. And say, listen, will you please sign my card as part of my Carney Lansford?
Carney Lansford. There it was. Yep.
We got to get we have to have Carney Lansford on the show.
I think I tagged him on Instagram when I was doing one of your reels. I don't know if you saw it or not, but that's I
did. I
remember the best like I guess the highlight of 2023 looking back of the Jimmy Palumbo show is when I tagged Ruben Sierra in a reel, and he liked it, and he saw it, and I was like, holy shit, Ruben fucking Sierra.
Ruben Sierra, who's now like doing rap music in Zimbabwe or something like that. All right, so Bill PECOTA, now who do you have for us?
Well, before I get there, the chat, I just want to acknowledge the chat right now, Dying Breed Garage, and obviously Tyson Hogan. Kyle came in saying something about Rutgers being able to beat Texas last night, so we can get into the bowl games in a little bit, but I didn't see the end of the Texas game. I fell asleep, but I did watch the Michigan one.
Good. Now we're going to get into college football in a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can't believe Kyle just chimed in because later on in the show, I'm going to bring up Kyle, and he's going to be. Matter of fact, very soon I'm going to bring up Kyle. I already have it written down, so it's not like I made it up.
Mine's a classic. could go down as one of the, I don't want to say greatest baseball managers of all time, but at least maybe the biggest character of all time.
The guy in the Orioles.
No. Like I said, once
Billy
I said
Martin, Earl Weaver.
no, I know Billy Martin, but I guess like when you look at all-time managers in baseball, you probably look at guys like just
Lasorda.
There he is, Tommy Lasorda.
Here we go, the Tommy Lasorda.
Lasorda. And the only reason why I bring this up, and it was on the top of the stack, and I remember Chris Gucci gave me this stack of cards, so he knew who was in there, and he's like, you got to talk to Jimmy about Tommy Lasorda in this one interview, and he played it, and I was like, holy shit!
I think I know.
Was aired now. I was like, oh
no, he would be. How about some of his arguments on the mound with the pitchers,
dude?
That must have went on all the time before.
All the time, and like I said, just a strong-hearted Italian guy who's he just.
And the pitcher didn't want to leave the game,
no.
And all of a sudden he lost his mind. And you know what's great about it too? The pitcher wasn't shitty, but he wasn't a great pitcher. He was like one of those middle guys, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, like Tommy Lasorda managed for like 90 years.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell this.
I feel like he's still
Italian
managing
guy,
right now.
Yeah.
He's not, but I feel like he is. Like
he's gone now, right? Lasorda's dead, I think.
I want to say yes.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure. But I
born in 1927, so I'm assuming he's gone.
And he definitely's dead.
Yeah.
But some of the YouTube videos with him are classic,
dude. Like I said, the one that Gooch showed me, I was like, okay. I was like, hopefully, one day soon, Lasorda's gonna pop up on the top of this deck, and we're gonna talk about him. And here we are.
He was a great man. I think he won. I guess he won. You know what? Is it possible Lasorda only won one World Series? The year with Valenzuela, which is a great documentary, 30 on 30, by the way. I think he only. Nah, it can't be. Well, I'm forgetting a World Series in there. He might have won one after 1981.
He died in 2021, by the way.
Okay.
So not too long ago. He's a two-time World Series champion,
so
81 and 88.
And 88. Okay, that's right. Okay. That was the year. What's his name? The guy who was hurt hit the home run. The famous home run with the bad knee, got up that year.
Jake Taylor?
No, you got to remember this. He pinched. I know you know that he pinched hit. I'm a jerk off. I can't believe I don't remember this.
Well, you got Steve Roman losing his goddamn mind in the green room right now. So
when he comes in, we can't hear him.
Hold that thought.
You can come in and yell at us. Steve Roman on deck here. All of a sudden, Steve Roman wants to be like Bill Pacoda and play every position.
Kirk Gibson.
Kirk Gibson. There you go.
That's Patrick, your buddy, and the animal maniac himself, Pat Volkamer, is back in there saying it was Kirk Gibson. Mike Leslie says Gibson.
First of all, Pat Volkamer
Kirk
listening.
Gibson. So they're all saying Kirk Gibson. We're the schmucks, by the way.
And of course you got shit. Yeah, because first of all, it's only Shecky, my buddy Mike Lawler. I keep on calling him Shecky. He probably hates that, but Mike Lawler, the Dolphin fan, is also a big Dodger fan. I should have known that. You know what? Listen, I'm 58 years old. It's a new year, and every now and then I knew the play. I even said he was hurt. He pinched hit. I knew everything about it. I mean, listen, I just said Mike Dennis and Bill Pacoda. I win all the awards of shitty guys nobody cares about. Anyway, all right, so we got Tommy Lasorda and Bill Pacoda. Nobody knows who Bill Pacoda is. I just educated the American public, which is why I do this show, Dave. See, we educate the youth of America.
Youths.
So I also want to talk about our Patreon. Now, we're all settled up now at Patreon. We're back. Everyone seems to have their credit cards down, except my mother. And I'm going to try to do for her tonight with that. But get her over here and set her up. My mother's coming over tomorrow night for a little dinner, which we'll get to in a second. But we are mired at 38 here at Shea. And we need a $39 strawberry. And there goes Dave drinking the jug of shit. The New Year, I'm surprised the jug isn't like a massive. Oh, please.
If it was gin, it'd be another story. It'd be another.
You're gonna start losing weight now. Dave's gonna be a lean, mean fight machine.
And back in the ring, 24, Jimmy.
Oh, here we go. Destruction. You might be getting in the ring on YouTube too, with that or whatever channel we end up on.
I can't wait till that comes out.
But I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Louis Vicciadomini, Colonia graduate down in Florida. Weege, I haven't talked about you in a while. Also, my buddy Dave Ben, who I went to school with for 16 years, my entire educational career. He was in the same system as me. And also, I have it written right here, Kyle Kerms getting a base hit in the 8th. I just saw his name there. I realized I haven't given him a shout out. He hasn't given me any good spreads on the stupid events we say.
You gotta pay attention. You gotta like log and watch his.
No, not the real spreads. I'm talking about the stupid shit we say.
Okay.
What are the odds that the Knicks will win more games than
Oh,
Rutgers
you want
does?
to talk about you want to talk about a blockbuster over the weekend, man? I was
We're gonna get to all of that.
very
in a second.
upset.
We're gonna get to all of that. I have so many.
A lot to get into, man. There's a lot of sports.
We do. We'll move it right along. But of course, the whole damn thing is sponsored by ChasingMiracles.com. That's right, ChasingMiracles.com. Chasing Miracles stem cell patches create an immediate effect on your body to repair anything. Donna and Tommy sent my daughter with her knee a whole bunch of patches that worked for pain, and the X39 and X49 patches, they're all over her knee. It's going great. And so I got to give credit to ChasingMiracles.com. These things, stamina, energy, muscle strengthening. There's no needles, nothing invasive. It's all kind of shit that your body needs that you don't even want to deal with. Of course, I got Steve Roman private chat coming over my screen here at Shea. Steve, calm down with the technology over there, okay? You'll be on in a second. Also, a shout out to Robin Achani Barna getting involved here. Daryl Clark saying, Gibson, you jerk off. Yeah, you were a little late to that too, pal. I know he's excited with his LSU and all his bullshit.
They had a bowl game?
No, I think they won their bowl game. I think they did.
Here's an idea. Nobody gives a shit if you won your bowl game.
Listen, I was in the transfer portal myself. I played in 4 of the games. I've been like a little off. I knocked the guy out of bounds inside the Miami 5. Just a little head shuck over that. Jimmy Palumbo.
You didn't see that guy who missed that blindside block? That was Jimmy trying to get to the outside.
Anyway, so ChasingMiracles.com is the way to go. Go talk to Tommy and Donna. They will take care of you. What was that?
Damn Paxman.
That's very funny. Darryl Clark with a quick 3 at the 2:45 mark. All right. Well, listen, there's a lot to talk about. We got to cover a little sports in the beginning, as we always do. The Rutgers Bowl game here at Shea. They beat Miami. They finished 7-6. I should be more happy with this, but I don't know why. I guess they lost the last 4. I should be more.
I don't know, man. I mean, next year it'll be even bigger because obviously they expand the college football playoff and it's going to be 12 teams and there's going to be a lot more involved there. But like, I'm sorry, these bowl games, unless you're in the business of like Kyle and betting on all the games and trying to win money,
but even
great.
Listen,
but these games are so fucking pointless.
Listen, Kyle's screwed too, because how do you put a line? You know what it's like saying? It's like the Jimmy Palumbo Show next week, but Dave and Jimmy aren't doing the show at all.
Oh, yeah. So
you got Steve Roman behind center.
Like an unfamiliar opponent.
And you got to look at the spread.
Yeah, no, like an unfamiliar opponent. Like, yeah. That has to make the handicapping a lot harder.
Listen, I get it. And any change in college football always helps Rutgers, because under the old system, we didn't win. So to me, like, let's change anything. Make them play on Tuesday mornings. It'll be better for us. And of course, next year we have a lot of guys coming back. We also, and I get in arguments online. I got banned again from another page by telling the truth. Everybody's like, our schedule is really hard next year. I'm like, well,
it's the same fucking schedule as it was this year.
No, it's not next year, though.
Why?
Well, we eliminated these 3 teams. Michigan, we don't play them next year.
Why?
That other school, Ohio State, we don't play them next year.
Wait, why?
And because of the new it's all the Big Ten got revamped. And we also don't play that little school in Pennsylvania. What's it called? Penn State. So yeah, Rutgers doesn't play Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Now we do play USC without Caleb Williams. We do play UCLA. I don't consider UCLA as good as those other 3. And we do play Washington, but half of those guys are going to the NFL. So as far as I'm concerned, our schedule is a cakewalk.
So we're going to go 12-0 is what you're saying.
We're going to run the table. Absolutely. I just don't know. I think our quarterback, they're all different now. The whole thing is all screwed up, but it'll benefit us because we suck anyway. But we have the same quarterback coming back. We got a transfer guy from Minnesota coming in, and everybody's like, he's not that good either. I'm like, he's probably going to be better than our guy. I think our quarterback's we would have been playing on New Year's Day.
They got a quarterback coming in the transfer portal?
Yeah, but he's like another. Another
Wimsat?
No, he's played with the offensive coordinator when he was at Minnesota. So
okay,
we'll see what happens there. In other really wonderful news, and I have to discuss this, Rutgers, huge victory in basketball on Saturday. They beat Stonehill which I mean, the Stonehill Duke game is everybody. That's national television. That's a noon start there on CBS. Now, there's a site that everybody should go to, including Kyle. It's called the Massey Ratings, and all it is a cum of all the different polls that are out there, and they do it for basketball and football. And I think it's always very accurate. In that, if you're good.
It's not opinionated. It just takes from everybody
else. It
else?
takes like literally the 25 top polls.
Okay.
USA Today, AP, all the shit. And they put it together to come up with a thing. But it's not
opinionated. It's like an algorithm type shit?
It's algorithm off those polls. Now, some of those polls have some of them have weird things. Like if you win at a night game by 4, like they have weird things. But most of them there's an algorithm that works. Now, there's 362 Division I basketball teams in this poll. Okay. Now, Rutgers at home on Saturday, they played Stonehill. Now, Stonehill, they're ranked 356, which means, according to the entire world, only 6 teams in the nation are shittier than Stonehill. Okay. And they play in that tough Northeast Conference, Merrimack, Wagner, St. Francis. And, of course, don't forget about the LIU Brooklyn game coming out here February 8th. And Rutgers won by 1 point.
Thriller.
And Stonehill had the ball with 12 seconds to go. Their best player drove to the hole, turnaround jumper, in and out. It would have been a buzzer beater. And everybody's like, no, it's good. We showed our resolve. We're in the Big Ten. You don't win by 1 against Stonehill. Sounds like an ice cream company. I don't understand any of this. I mean, who do we play? We play Briars next week. Was that Jerry's?
Ben and Jerry's getting to town.
Oh, my God. And Good Humor wants to talk it over here. The truck's coming by. Pikel's trying to catch the Good Humor truck. We'll be right back. I mean, I don't understand this. You see? I mean, Stonehill, it sounds like a cemetery, for Christ's sake. I mean, it made me sick. I watched it. Everyone's like, no, they suck. Rutgers basketball, you got to get better. Now they play Ohio State, throwing you get smoked. Anyway, and let me tell you, Sam Grasso checking in next year for Rutgers because we got these 2 studs coming in. When's the last time like 2 freshmen came in and lit it up, except for maybe Michigan Fan 5, and they didn't win it either. I think next year is going to be like, well, the new guys need time. The whole thing is shit.
2026 is looking real nice.
That was my prediction. We won't make the tournament this year. We won't make it next year. We'll make it, but we'll be a badass in 2020.
We'll be on the bubble in 2020.
I'll be 62 years old by then. Who gives a fuck? I'll still be doing this fucking show as I curse here in front of Martin Wilsack's mom. Anyway, let's talk about the football Giants.
Shall we?
Yeah, listen, the Giants, I tell you, I think the Giants are one of the best teams in the league, and here's why. Listen, you drive downfield at the end of the game, you have a field goal kicker that's like 74 years old, and he looks like a Mosley on the Redskins in the 70s, and you get down to the 34 with 25 seconds to go. How about we run off tackle of Barkley just to maybe get it in the center of the field and have our guy who's only kicked a nice little 58-yarder to win it instead of trying to get a little closer, assholes. Instead, the guy missed it. They had so many stupid plays.
Legendary kicker, by the way, Mason Crosby.
Yeah, Bing Crosby was the kicker. They have funniest thing I've said in 2 years. First of all, the 2-point conversion. I mean, like he rolls out, he can walk in and hold the ball up to the ref, or you know what? We have that running back, Barkley's right there. So what does he do? I'm going to throw a pass to the backside of Barkley's leg, his arm. Awful. But I will say one thing. And the Adoree Jackson tackle was horrific. But I got to say 2 things. Dave, I don't know if you saw it. Okay. I believe the Tyrod Taylor throw to Slayton is one of the top 5 quarterback throws ever in an NFL game. Here's why, Dave. He rolled her out of the pocket, okay? He threw it at the 12-yard line. And it went to the 25. It was a 63-yard throw strike. You got to watch the highlight. Anyway, put it this way. I mean, how far did somebody throw a
You're
70?
talking about this game or the Philly game?
The Philly game was another one, actually.
Nah, that's not back-to-back weeks. All right.
No, you got to watch this throw. It's like, and Tyrod Taylor's supposed to be the short guy, back up, no arm. This guy, I'm sure the record, and I'm not talking about 63-yard touchdown. It was an 80-yard touchdown. When's the last time a quarterback threw the ball 63 yards? I know, like Prescott has a strong arm too, and I've seen him at the end of some games really hike one in there. But to hit a guy, not a Hail Mary, what your job is just to throw it to a zone.
In stride.
In stride.
Yeah.
You have to watch the highlight next week. I want you to confirm that I'm not losing my mind. Like this.
No,
guy,
I saw it. It sounded reminiscent of the Eagle one too. So that's
63
making
yards
sure you knew to defer the two.
The other best player in the NFL by far is the Giant punt returner. It's not even close. Gunnar Olszewski, whatever his name is.
I think he's a former Patriot. He's a special teams.
Patriot. He's been in the league a while. It doesn't matter. I love him. Here's why. He looks chubby. He's a white guy. He's fat. He looks like a guy. Matter of fact, I'd love to have him play for a beer league. I would put him in beer league immediately. This fat bastard never calls a fair catch. He's got hair hanging out. He runs up the middle. He bounced off 9 guys. He turned around. Now, he's supposed to be the slow, fat white guy, right?
I mean, if he's a punt return, he better be fast.
Okay. No, wait a minute, though. He's not. You got to see him. He looks like a chungaloo.
No, I've seen him.
And next thing you know, he goes yard. This guy's trying to chase after him. A little pushing the back at the 10-yard line, but we got to let that one go.
I digress.
Anyway, Robin and Chani say going for the 2 is it was. There was a lot of going for 2 stupid, which we'll get in a minute. Anyway, the Giants stink. Their draft pick's going to either be 2 or 8. My guess is it'll be like 5 or 6.
Right now they're sitting at 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to play well against the Eagles. I do.
Eagles are in fucking free fall right now, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, you're loving it. The Cowboys somehow, through the grace of God, are control their own destiny, which that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah.
The Cowboy game, I don't recall an ending like that in a long time. Not that it was Dan Campbell. He's good for the league. It's the Lions. They have never won. He's an aggressive guy. Nobody hates Dan Campbell. But I think when you go for the 2 for the win, that's cool. But then you get a 5-yard penalty. Now you're at the 8. Dude, kick the extra point. I don't think it's fair. I know that's a 7-yard pass in the end zone. I would have, and then there's a penalty on the Cowboys. They're back at the 2 again, and the guy was open and he threw a shitty pass. That was a wild game. But listen, the Cowboys have lost tons of games like that in the last 5 years. So as much as I can't stand the Cowboys, I watch the Cowboy games. So I know when they're. Listen, did my boy CeeDee Lamb? How well did he do? Again,
just 200 plus.
Yeah, again, that's why if the Giants had CeeDee Lamb, no doubt we hosting throughout. No doubt. He's open on every play. That's why I think if you make an argument that Dak Prescott stinks, your opening statement in front of the judges is the defense lawyer says, is it true that CeeDee Lamb is on your team as a wide receiver? Yes, it is. We rest our case, Your Honor. I don't think you realize as a Cowboy fan how, first of all, again, he's like the little guy on the Patriots years ago. What was that guy's name?
Julian Edelman.
Yeah. Back then, if I had a podcast back then, I would have said, listen, put all 12 guys on him. And if they get the pass off
12, now we're adding guys.
11, even have the coach come in, like defensive coordinator, and just like because he's open on every play, and I don't get it.
He's probably I'm listen, I'm the Cowboys guy and everything like that, and I usually tell it how it is, and I'm not Mr. like rah everybody's the best, but like I look at Lamb now and I look around the league, and this year he's top 2. It's him and Tyreek Hill. There's nobody else. I mean, Hill for the sole purpose that he's just fucking lightning fast. But like CeeDee Lamb's route running ability reminds me of Amari Cooper when he was there. I mean, Cooper's nowhere near what Lamb could do. It's special. And Dak Prescott having him for the next who knows how many years.
As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet the games the Cowboys lost or played shitty, which they had a few of them this year.
Lamb was not a factor.
Not a factor either.
Right.
Either the defense coordinator did what I did. Listen, I don't care if we lose 80-0. CeeDee Lamb is not going to beat us, or Prescott had a bad game.
Prescott has those games where he's just like, what am I doing here?
I also think, do you think there's what I'm about to say is so not true, but it's just, I also think some of these NFL players like, oh, I'll show the world that we're not just CeeDee Lamb, and they try to like go to that tight end that nobody cares about.
Yes,
it's like no.
And when
you
I tell
believe in
you,
that theory on NFL teams do that? Coaches
I
even
believe
like
that I believe that the coaches do that,
I
and it's the
believe- me
dumbest
too.
thing you could possibly do.
That's what I say.
It's like, bro, like if you know you have the most talented person over here, let's not.
And it's 3rd and
get
8. Let
cute.
him do a 10-yard curl and see what happens.
Like let's be honest. It was the Miami game. Yeah, it might have been the Miami game. Yeah, it had to be the Miami game where there was just a lot of discombobulation, and the whole time I'm like, if this play isn't to Lamb, who are you trying to impress?
Now, I know sometimes they triple
theory.
team.
Yeah, that too. But like, I have a theory that like Mike McCarthy, a lot of the time has this mindset, and I say it a lot with Brett and Keith on the Jersey Boys podcast. I say, this guy thinks he's the smartest man in the room.
Well,
meaning, there's times where it's like 1st and goal from the 1-inch line. What are we gonna do? We're gonna run a fade around. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, no, 1st and goal from the 1-inch line. We're gonna hand it to Hunter Lipke. How many carries does Hunter have this year? None, actually.
I think
like, what are we doing?
I think the reason why offensive coordinators are up in the booth is for one reason. If they were 10 feet from the coach,
the coach would slug him.
Just go up to him.
Just
remember
punch the shit out of him.
years ago, Ron Earhart used to be Parcells was fat, Ron Earhart was fat. They both would be near each other like two bubbling circus clowns. And when Earhart ran a shitty play, it was usually when he tried to pass, when he should have ran the ball. Parcells and him would be looking at each other. I agree with you. I think coaches get cute.
And we said it weeks ago. Like 1st and goal from the 2, and he's in shotgun. And I'm just like, what? And
well,
like,
how
I even said that in the Miami game and the Buffalo game. I said, when you're down and you're pinned and you're back against the wall, can we stop? Not only like I get it, shotgun if you're closer to your end zone because it gives you a little bit more time. Like I'm talking fractions of a second, but like the snap, is there a necessity to go like this? And fake a handoff. Nobody thinks you're handing the ball off. You are now costing your offensive line an extra half a second that they got to fucking block these guys.
Listen, I agree 100%. How about the very bad clock management by the Cowboys at the end of the game?
That's another thing, man. It's like,
what are you doing? There's 2.5 minutes ago. They got 2, and you're throwing passes. They had the ball with 2:05 left.
If they would have ran the ball on that 2nd down,
they would
the Lions would have had a minute instead of a minute 45.
Which in the NFL, I don't care that you give me the worst quarterback in the NFL, give him a minute 45. Anyway.
You just never know.
Well, listen, the Cowboys have lost tons of games like that.
And that's why a lot of people are on my ass on Twitter or X, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Like they're on my ass saying, and I was like, look, you know how many times I've actually had to sit there and see a snap infraction or a catch no catch or this, that, and a third. I'm like, you know how many times I had to sit there? I was like, guess what? I'm taking this win.
Yes,
I'm fucking taking this
NFL,
win,
man. Not for long.
And because of that, we got to watch the following day Kyler Murray, who hasn't won a game pretty much all year, it feels like. And he just out of nowhere just does his thing. And I'm like, wait a minute, what just fucking happened here? How is this possible?
It's wild. It's wild. The NFL playoffs are going to be tough. Obviously, Arizona, we're going to get to the stinks list. But before we do that,
what's up, Steve?
We have Steve Roman on our show.
What's going on, fellas?
Steve, how are you doing? Happy New Year. Welcome to the show.
Happy New Year, guys. Wanted to touch base. The player that the Yankees currently have that cover all those positions is who? That you
DJ LeMahieu, but he only plays the infield, really. I mean, he could probably play outfield if he asked him.
He's a good outfielder, but he plays first, third, second, and he plays them at an all-star level.
But he doesn't pitch. Does he pitch? Does he catch? So he's always he's just a utility infielder.
Who does that? All you talked about was Ohtani that covers that, and yes, he does. And he's not pitching this year anyway. So give the guy $70 million. He's not pitching this year. So we'll see if he ever pitches again. Right. Wouldn't you take that in as an owner, Dave? If we won the lotto last night, like the guy in Michigan, and took home $350 million.
How many new cousins did he make?
Yeah, right, a lot. How many rooftop restaurants is he on?
He's on 20. He's on 23 and me, finding out about a fifth cousin.
The bills
out of South Jersey.
Invoices. I'm into the invoices. So yeah, no, I just thought that was really. I love DJ LeMahieu. He had a couple not so great years the last. I think he's one of the worst signings the Yankees have done. They owe him. He's done shit since they re-signed him. He's got like two. He was awful last year.
Jimmy, everybody stunk last year, so it's not even like fair to like single him out.
Stinks.
Okay,
You're just,
well,
you're
I'll
just,
look forward.
you're just
I'll
a
look-
Giancarlo apologist
That's
right now.
good,
That's all.
Giancarlo.
Right.
He's
EJ
Giancarlo's
LeMay,
in the
you
gym
stink.
right now.
Two-time batting league champion,
Giancarlo.
couple of off years. Guy's a lifetime 300 hitter. Terrible. Okay.
right. Hey,
How about Freddie Montas?
hey,
What do you guys think about that trade?
That
That's
wasn't a trade. That was he just
We bought him in, we paid him, and then they let him go.
he ran out of options. I think he signed with Cincinnati or something like that.
Yeah.
Anytime you sign with Cincinnati, your career's over.
So. Not necessarily, man. They're
Matter
kind
of
of
What was her
exciting now.
name? Marge, the owner.
The Jimmy
bit
Palumbo
racist.
Show.
Do you
Gonna
remember
be
the
live
owner
from
of the
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati
Marge
owner.
Shot, yes.
Marge
Steve,
Shot. Very
Steve,
racist.
so back to football real quick with obviously the Giant game playing out the way it is, and you got Philly coming up, and I used to need this game, and now I don't, so I don't care who wins. Like, are you entertaining as a top, let's just pretend and arbitrarily say that there's a top 8 pick, right? You're going to probably hover within the 4 to 8 range. Are you entertaining no matter what, taking a quarterback? Or are you taking a skill position guy? Like, how are you addressing this, considering the fact that Daniel Jones is probably not going to be ready for the start of the season?
I would look at a quarterback. I think the Giants need a quarterback desperately. I do like Taylor, but he's going into his 14th season. The throw that Jimmy said, he made a couple of amazing throws. He's mobile. But Dave, I think we need a quarterback. I think the Giants need a quarterback.
So are you done on Daniel Jones? Are you done with Daniel Jones?
I'm not done with Daniel
I mean,
Jones.
you paid the guy $40 million a year, so.
I understand that. Is he going to be ready is a big key. If he's not going to be ready, I mean, the Giants got to look at the big picture and go, we need a quarterback. Can they get anything for Jones?
I think the Giants, no, they can't. Jones is this year he'll play, and then after that, they don't take a hit after this year.
He might just get Wally pipped and just, draft a kid.
I think the Giants have a decision to make at quarterback, and it's an interesting one. Taylor is arguably top 2 best backup quarterback in the league. So he's good. He probably would just go out and get his dime from his agent. That's fair enough. He should.
Okay.
However, the Giants might say, hang on a second. Daniel Jones gets hurt every 4 minutes. Tyrod Taylor can throw 63-yard passes. Why not let's sign Taylor? Forget about DeVito. Let's sign Taylor as our backup again, knowing full well that there's almost no way Jones starts week 1. I'm on with the way they
no, to me, it's just he tore his ACL too late into the season for me to think that he's going to be ready in September.
And I don't think Taylor's going to go and compete for a job unless if I were Taylor, initially I was like, no, he's not going to sign with the Giants. But now I'm like, maybe that's not I don't know. Maybe that's the way to go.
I look around the NFL, and I don't think there's a team in the NFL that is in dying need of a starting quarterback without it being spoon-fed. Meaning, when I say that, meaning like if you're the first overall pick and you really think Caleb Williams is who he is, then you're going to take him regardless.
Start him.
Right. So, but I'm looking at like teams like Carolina, which, by the way, did you see the owner of Carolina?
Oh my God, what are you doing?
What the fuck? They might lose a draft pick over this, and that would be detrimental. The guy's pouring drinks all over everybody. But anyway, maybe they got it wrong, right? Because they screwed it up. They gave away, arm and a leg just to get that pick and screwed it up. Got the wrong guy. Did they get the wrong guy, or is it just the team around him? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But like you look around the league, and can Tyrod Taylor compete with anybody right now? I don't know. But if he's told like, hey, listen, our guy's not going to be ready, can you serviceably start the first 5? I'm paying him on the cheap. Absolutely.
I think that I think the Giants have the decision to say, hey, do we offer this guy a decent dime?
Because the DeVito thing is done. It's over, right? I mean, that's all.
And you know what? And listen, I don't have a problem with DeVito being the 3rd string, and here's why. You don't have to invest in another jerk-off second-round pick, some quarterback at a Des Moines State. So you go with Jones, Taylor, and DeVito, same as you did this year. Jones is not going to be there. So on week 1, Jones, DeVito will be the backup, and I think Taylor's a great backup to Jones. And if you're Taylor's agents and family got to be, listen, this guy Jones always gets hurt. Why not do it?
I got a blockbuster trade for you, and maybe you guys just say yes or no as Giant fans. Let's just say the cost is a 3rd-round pick in Daniel Jones, maybe like a 3rd and a 5th in Daniel Jones. Would you entertain? And I don't want this because I'm an NFC East guy, and I don't want the Giants to be ever competitive. But after watching him throw 25 touchdowns to just 6 or 7 interceptions, and now the fucking free fall that the Broncos are in, are you interested in Russell Wilson?
Yes.
No.
because that
Yes.
dude is done in Denver already.
Well, him and Sean Payton, if you look at Sean Payton, he can't get paid. It's a personality
he's a
conflict now.
prick.
He's
Does
a
anybody else
real,
realize that?
he's a real
prick.
douchebag.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You can't. But
Russell, well, listen, Russell Wilson,
who pays the bill though?
not
The
Sean Payton.
Well, if they trade
Not
him, it's
Sean
on the
Payton.
Giants.
Well, there could be no.
You worried
not
about-
the
you
full
worried about-
bill, not the full bill.
You worried about Daniel Jones money? Wilson's making
No,
like he
I
makes
said
his
if
own
the-
time.
if-
no,
if
if you swap them, like then
Right.
then you're only paying a little bit extra,
If
but
you
a
can get a
much better
deal-
caliber quarterback.
Absolutely, and if you can get a deal,
Wilson played terrible this year. I don't know.
No, he didn't.
no,
he didn't,
did
Jimmy.
not. No,
25
he did
touchdowns
not.
and 7 picks. He's been benched because Sean Payton
Hates
is a
him.
prick, and
Hates him.
he can't deal
It's
with the
also
fact that he has.
a money thing.
And
I
Sean
watched him
Payton
a few
is,
games.
is part of the
Everybody calm
Church of
down.
Scientology, and
Wilson wasn't that great this year. Stop
Yes,
it
he
now.
was.
listen, he's
Jimmy,
better.
it's if you watch the games, and I know you don't. I know you go to the USA
I
Today
watched
paper,
him play a
and you
few
look at the
games.
standings. No, Russell Wilson played
set up for
better this
failure
year,
by Sean
leaps
Payton.
and bounds better this year than he did last year. And Sean Payton went in there and said, "This is what happened." Sean Payton signed and
This
agreed
is
to be
what
the
you're going
coach.
to do.
This is what you're going to do, and if
And
you
if you're
don't
not
do
doing it,
you're out.
You're out.
Do you know they
Right.
asked him? They asked him to restructure his contract, and if he doesn't, he's benched.
What?
They're
crazy.
bricks over there.
Yeah,
Denver
Sean-
is in a fucking free fall, and I'm for it because there's nobody I'd rather have it happen to than Sean Payton. The guy was suspended for a year for fucking targeting players.
Right.
The guy's a prick,
Right.
He's
and he
a
comes in there
scumbag.
after watching him do what he did with Drew Brees and won a Super Bowl. Right? You think like, oh, okay, he's one of the all-time great. No, he falls in that Mike McCarthy thing where it's like, if you were that good of a coach, you would have won
I just
so
think I
many
think Wilson
Super
on the
Bowls.
Giants. I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. You know what though? Those trades.
Talk to
You know what? And I'm not
Russell
even. I'm
Wilson.
not even gonna
Talk to
fucking entertain Pat Volckermer right now. Any kind of fucking football
Yes.
talk out of him because this guy was calling for Zeke to be gone, and the Dallas Cowboys running game is non-fucking existent. So I'm not doing this right now with you, Pat. Knock it off. Knock
Listen,
it off.
when Russell Wilson won
Wilson
the Super Bowl,
stinks. Jimmy is right from Pat Volkermer.
and you were talking
That's what I just
to
said,
his
and that's why it brought me
teammates,
up.
his all-pro teammates when they won the Super Bowl.
Fucking
Everybody
Rutgers
said
ring.
that Russell Wilson was a great guy, was a good guy, was a good guy to come in the clubhouse. All of those guys had nothing but positive things to say about him. That was a team full of all pros. Jimmy, you want to go back with your Italian stallion, Tyrod Taylor? There's no
Listen,
comparison.
I gotta be
between
honest with
Russell
you.
Wilson.
But Dave brought up an interesting thing about a quarterback trade of somebody who could be available. And we gave it 35 seconds of Dave gave his legitimate reasons, and they're legit. I just like, it's just another guy I don't want.
That's fine. You can pass on him.
And,
That's fine.
But I don't know. First of all, the Giants are too.
Disagree as a
Giants are
Giants
too
fan. I agree
stupid
with
to make
everything
that
you said.
trade. That requires phone calls and fax machines.
Jimmy
They won't be
was
able to do
so high on DeVito that I give Wilson whatever he wants.
Well, listen.
He
Just come
renamed
on
his
over.
he renamed his daughter like Tommy for
Listen,
some reason. Like you can't
right,
do
like-
that.
Tommy D.
First of all, the
How you
Tommy
feeling,
DeVito
Tommy
story
D?
is not over yet.
It's over.
And he's gonna be
It's
back
like
next
the
year.
fucking
That's a
Sopranos,
side
my friend.
bet.
It
That's
is
over.
over.
That
He
is
will be on the
over.
team next year, and he'll do fine.
He's gonna be
As a
back.
backup.
He's gonna be coaching quarterbacks at Don Bosco next year. That's what he's
Right.
gonna be
His
doing.
high school
Moscow
prep
will
team.
light it up
And they
against
give him
Bergen
the
Catholic.
offensive.
35-3 at the half.
And Danny DeVito loses all his
No.
contracts
So
for
you-
Ragu.
You don't
For
think
Ragu.
DeVito will be in the league next year?
I don't think
We
he's
had
gonna
this
be with the
discussion, and the
Giants.
more, I
No,
don't think he's gonna be with the Giants.
No, I don't.
The more I watched that transpire, it was a fun thing for New
It was
York.
a couple of weeks of a giggle. It was like
Aaron
a sham.
Judge bought him dinner and shit. Like it was like, oh, I want to hear. Like,
Listen,
dude, it's done. Like you're realizing
But
he's not
okay,
even Tony
but
Romo.
okay, time out.
Not even
time out,
close.
time out. But
Not even close.
Here's my argument why I think you're wrong. Number one, he walked onto the team. He made the team. He was the third string quarterback. It wasn't like he was plucked. He made the team. So he did. That means all those practices and the backup quarterbacks get
Well,
a
he
lot
made
of
the
work
practice
done.
squad, yeah.
And of course Jones he's always hurt. I think he made the team legitimately, and I think he will definitely, without a doubt, be in the NFL easily, either as a backup or third string with the Giants. And if the Taylor goes right after the season, signs with somebody, I think DeVito's not going anywhere. He's just not going to be, Bart Starr. We'll leave it at that. All right, which brings us to cornholelevel.com here at Shea. I actually was helping move cornhole boards the other day, and I had my hand inside the cornhole, Dave, and I was moving him into this place that they were having an event, and I'm like, well, I got my hands in a cornhole here. And I
I'll
was
tell
like,
you, it felt
and
great. Thanks
Sounds
for
like
the
a
help,
Saturday
Jimmy.
night. 20s.
So cornholelevel.com, $19.95. If you type in the code JP Show, you get 20% off your entire order. Of course, they're here right here. They have the Scarlet Knights and Rutgers in there. You just hook this on and it balances it out. This thing is awesome. Get ready for the spring. Get ready for your cornhole tournament. Perfect gift. Cornholelevel.com. Mike Caprio, my boy, is the sponsor of the show. You got to go check them out for sure. Now, they sponsor the NFL Stinks List. That's right. Well, here we go. Miami Dolphins, I have you as only good. Buffalo Bills, good. Jets and Patriots, you both stink. Baltimore Ravens, very good. I mean, 13-3 is 13-3.
I mean, the way they're doing it is
there you go.
Handling
and Cleveland Browns here. Flacco fires over the ball.
Want to talk about a real Italian
hero?
There
you go. There
Bill
it is. Matter of fact, all Italian quarterbacks.
Udell's very own.
Pittsburgh Steelers, I have as good because, again, first of all, I know it's torture sometimes to be a Steeler fan because they always fall in this 7 to 10, but let me tell you something. If you Google,
don't say 7. It ain't 7. It ain't 7. You know why it's not 7, Jimmy? Because the guy hasn't had a losing season in his career as a coach.
And he started.
That means it's either going to be 8 or more every year.
Tomlin started out with the Cleveland Browns with the Four Horsemen in 1939, and he's still there.
He's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
He's fantastic. And let me tell you, if Russell Wilson was playing for
listen to me. Tomlin on the Steelers, I feel like
Wilson was playing for Tomlin. Let me tell you,
I think he's great. And the Steelers always start off 3-4, but somehow with a week,
he's a great coach.
When you Google Pittsburgh Steelers, it always says he's always in the hunt. They're always in the hunt.
Always.
Have you heard anything bad said about him by a player?
Nobody.
Never
makes me crazy. But I have him as good. I have the Bengals as stink because they're all messed up. They stink.
Missed the playoffs.
But yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars I have as average. Now this league I had as stink all last week. AFC South I have Jacksonville, Colts, and Texans as all average. They all are on the way up. They're all 9-7. Gotta love that. Of course, Tennessee Titans, you stink. Kansas City Chiefs, again, another game where I watched them play like shit, even though they won. I have them as good. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, thanks for coming down. You'll get the free home version of the Jimmy Palumbo Stinks list. You guys stink. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, I only gave as good. I'll give them one more week so they do against they have a good chance of finishing very good if they crush the Redskins. But we all know 3:05 to go. Redskins are backed up on their own.
Game's gonna be tied into the fourth quarter.
If CeeDee Lamb doesn't have 700 yards receiving that game, I have the Cowboys as good for now. I have the Eagles as good. Matter of fact, I really debated going to average, and they may, depending on how they do against the Giants. Was Neil Goldhaber getting involved? I have the Commanders, of course, they stink. I mean, the Commanders, they've given up 480 points this year. That is gross. And now you're playing the Cowboys. That's big trouble.
Who need it?
However, though, historically, you do know it, Dave. I know know this.
No, these games are always
something
close.
About the Redskin Cowboy games. I mean, as a little kid, no matter what the record was, there's always like I have I shouldn't say I have no doubt, but it would not surprise me at all if for some reason it's 27-24 and Redskins have the ball at their own 4 with 40 seconds to go, and you're gonna be like, I can't believe they got the ball back. Anyway, Commanders do stink though. Detroit Lions, I have you as good. They went from very good. I don't know.
Are they wait, hold on? Are they eligible to be good or no?
they're good with the if they finish strong, they'll be.
He missed it. He missed it right over Jimmy's head. That's all right.
Sometimes stuff goes over my head.
I mean, come on, eligible. He's eligible to be good. Don't you remember that fucking play this game? Oh my god. Anyway,
all right. Packers are average. Packers are another team. They were left for dead.
They control their own, bro. They can get into the play. It is my fucking worst nightmare. And I told Gooch this.
You played in the first round?
Packers Cowboys right now are lined up to play in the first round, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't care who the quarterback is.
You can't lose to the Packers.
I cannot, McCarthy in the pack. It's like, oh shit, we're gonna get bounced in the first again.
You're in a perfect scenario. The Giants have sucked for years. Cowboys have been good for years. Packers are always good, but now they're supposed to suck, and now they're going to be, oh god. Minnesota Vikings, sorry, you stink. Bears stink. Tampa Bay Saints, Falcons, Panthers stink.
Somebody's going to come out of that division a winner,
which is just a joke. I think the Giants would be in the lead of that division. San Francisco 49ers, hello. They're just tough. I give them the big time, very good. Rams are average. Seahawks and Cardinals, you stink. So With 1 week to go, we have 17 stinks, 5 average, 7 goods, 3 very goods. That's the NFL stink list. It's very accurate. Go look it up against your power ranking bullshit online, and you'll see my stink list is very close. And that is that. Now, of course, that brings us to everybody, your friend and mine, favorite sponsor ever in the world, located in Woodbridge, New Jersey, at 42 Main Street, 732-326-3937. If your eyes are all banged up and you need new glasses, you got to go to Absolute Eyewear right down by the train station. Go talk to Craig and Janine Michaud here at Shea, family-owned, brother and sister, licensed opticians here. Craig, of course, was my right center fielder for years. And this all-time strikeout leader in softball, which I love saying that on the air, especially as kids listen sometimes. Full-service opticians, they got everything over there. They got prescription eyewear, sunglasses, and nice people. When you go there, when you leave, Dave, you don't feel like a jerk off. Best slogan of all time. Just like I have Chasing Miracles, shit your body needs, Absolute Eyewear. When you leave there, you don't feel like a jerk off. They, of course, have your attention, please. Available at Absolute Eyewear, Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors Light, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley's kids can be seen running around. Go check it out. Glasses for every budget. You get $100 off a complete pair. If you mention Dave, me, Steve Roman, sports, the Knicks, okay, blah, blah, blah. Absolute Eyewear, which will bring us to Pat Volkemer and Dave and I agree on one thing. We absolutely love the New York Knickerbockers. Now, I got to admit.
Steve's the Knicks fan.
Yeah, calm down, Steve. I know you're on the show. I got you, bro. Steve Roman, Steve,
you're like in the box. Get
Steve,
me back in the green room. Let me just be.
You're like the Tommy DeVito of this show. Okay, so you can come in and fire it up.
I'm the Russell Wilson of this show.
Okay, Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
good.
Anyway, that's the last time we mentioned Russell Wilson for the rest of the show.
I know. Let's get Danny DeVito's. Let's get Danny DeVito's agent on here.
Absolutely.
Let's get him in his green suit and let's do it.
Let's talk about the Knicks. Now, Dave, I admit, when they made these trades, I wasn't a fan of the guys that Quickly and Barrett anyway. And when they got this guy, when it said OG, I thought it was like, I thought it meant like old school, like old guard. What's this guy like OG?
It's original gangster, first of all.
Whatever the hell it is. And it doesn't matter. And this guy, and Dave, admit, you didn't really know who he was either. Come on, get a little.
I knew who he was. I just needed a little more background. That's all.
Okay. And the Knicks get this guy. Of course, the first game, he didn't know what he was doing, but he played pretty well. He's a great defensive player. He could shoot the three. I guess this is one that Thibodeau wanted because he plays D.
It's not Thibodeau. It's the GM.
I know, but I think Thibodeau was in on this one because he's a classic Thibodeau player, if you ask me. Good on D. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it makes the Knicks like. Did they go from a 7 seed to a 6 seed with this trade?
He scored 15 his first night. He was effective.
He also fouled out.
He was effective.
I don't know, man. I just
they gave too much away for him. I think RJ Barrett.
All right, when you see if I were to tell you that you opened up an alert on your phone that says the Knicks get rid of Quickly, Barrett, and a pick, you're like, oh, we must have got
someone big.
We got Donovan Mitchell, or we must have, must have went out
something.
This to me, it felt like a dump. It felt like a dump for the next move that's going to be potentially made, but they got like 78 first-round picks. Like you would think that like there's something
but Dave,
else on the pipeline.
Supposedly Quickly was asking for money that the Knicks were like, no. And here's another thing.
Stephen A. Smith slammed it. He said, terrible move. He felt, and I agree. Dave and I are on the same page.
No, I'm not. I think it's great. I think it's a great move, and here's why. This is Jimmy Palumbo on the couch.
Right.
Dave, where were the Knicks going anyway? We're not bad.
I understand.
We're in nothing world. So let's take a chance on this.
So we're in Danny DeVito world in the NBA. It's the same thing. Depression. I mean, the Knicks really aren't that good.
The Knicks aren't good. So let's make this trade. And another thing,
let's get worse.
If you're living in Portland, are you like, oh my God, the Knicks are coming to town. I'm gonna go see Barrett quickly. Like they represent that no big deal level of Knicks shit for the last 3 years. I don't know.
I think they traded Barrett. I mean, look, listen, I've been an advocate since I've started working here and became friends with with Kyle and real Knicks fans that really like rooted in to the system. I was always Mr. Go get the star, build stars. Kyle, on the other hand, was on the let these guys develop, let these guys like get together, let them have a cohesive unit. RJ Barrett, according to most, was traded before he hit his stride. Like,
he
you traded this guy way too quick,
too early. How old is he? 25.
Yeah, man.
He's in his prime.
And Quickly, listen, Quickly was fun. He's like a fun player to get off the bench.
But he was good. He was fitting in well.
Energy, he had that. Yeah, he had that Garden energy. He had that moxie it takes to play at the Garden. And now you just trade away two of fan favorites. I'm not saying they're the best players on the team because you still have Randall, you still have Brunson, you still have all these guys, but like
Jimmy's just looking at it as
it's just the Knicks were
a non-entity.
I think it's worth. Well, yeah, I don't think the trade necessarily makes. I feel like the Knicks traded in for a scratch-off ticket that they might be able to get better because they weren't getting better. And Barrett wasn't having a great season either.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you just
to me, Randall and Brunson.
You broke up a team that could potentially
do what?
Win another series in the playoffs, right? You could do that and build off that and keep building and building and building. What you're not doing is getting rid of some of the assets that finally started to look like there was something together.
I think Quickly wasn't going to sign next year with the Knicks.
And that's fine, but why dish him now?
So bring in a guy now. Bring in a guy.
You brought in OG as if like this guy is going to save New York.
Okay, but now you can if he again, I don't know really how good the guy is, but say he's pretty good. Now you got Brunson, Randall, and OG. That's 3 out of 5, and the other two guys, they probably suck. I just think the Knicks weren't any trade to me would have been. I don't outside of Randall and Brunson. I think all the Knicks suck. I mean, they're all like, Hartenstein,
Joe Syndergaard has the Jerry Jones mentality right now. As long as that guy's in charge,
he's 100% right. I couldn't agree with Joe. Yeah,
but it's amazing though. But listen, right. I hate Dolan, but
he doesn't care.
But no, timeout. That's not true. I think Dolan has tried. First of all,
he's
the great thing is
in Vegas with the Sphere. No, that was on episode 141. Go back in time. He has done nothing. Now you want to befriend this guy?
No, I'm not going to defend. No, timeout. Listen, that's called that. I'm going to educate Steve Roman now on his final show. Listen, the bottom line is, Dolan, at least, if you think about it, they made some bonehead moves, of course, yeah. But the Knicks have made moves that, like, everyone thought, this will be good, and it just always, it just goes to shit. And sometimes that's not Dolan's fault. That's just the way it is. Guys get hurt. Guys get players that come in aren't as good as they wanted to be. They line up draft picks. The players don't want to play in New York, and I think it has nothing. You know what? A lot of people forget.
So who do you think that falls on?
No. You know why players don't want to play in New York? Again, I'm educating you further. Say you
Tommy
play.
DeVito's the backup
let me explain to you.
Giants.
Let me explain to you a day in the life if you play for the Orlando Magic. Okay, here's what you do. You got your wife and kids. They go to a school, and you're in a nice section of Central Florida, and you just drive up to the stadium. Me and my arrow. You drive in, really relax. You go in, you practice. Okay, now you sign with the Knicks. First of all, the government takes like 75% of your paycheck. Your practice arena is in Westchester. Okay, even people that live in Westchester can't get to the Knicks facility. Then the games are in Midtown Manhattan. Okay, it's real easy to get to Midtown Manhattan during the winter, during this. It's a fucking pain in the ass to play for the Knicks. They don't have it's nothing.
So because the Knicks aren't in rural America.
No, time out. No, time out. So listen,
if you're the Mecca of basketball,
no, it's not. That's such a
certainly
Mecca.
Is.
You were 4 when they won it last. And let me tell you another thing. If you have a wife or even a girl you're fooling around with a lot. You're like, well, should I go play where it's a pain in the ass to get to work every day, or should I go to a place where you just stroll right in? It's so easy.
Jimmy, for you to say something like that. Hold on one second, because this actually relates to you, Jimmy Palumbo. Okay, because when you're coming up in Hollywood and acting, right, where do you want to be? You want to be in either Los Angeles or you want to be in New York. You're going to get discovered in Wisconsin, Jimmy?
Dave,
you want to be in the busiest place in the world.
Yeah, you know what? And if you play in Des Moines in the NBA, you're all over the Nike ads. Nobody cares where you live anymore. Look at Steph Curry's playing. 11 people live where they
California.
It's California, but nobody cares that it's easy. I would go play for Sacramento in a heartbeat. Jimmy Palumbo signs $40 million play Sacramento in front of 7 people, make your money and go home. Nobody cares. You don't have to play in New York and be great. It doesn't matter anymore.
I
Doesn't
disagree.
matter.
Yeah,
Look, they just try to do it in
No.
New Jersey. I know in New Jersey it failed with the 3 bigs they brought in, Durant, and it didn't work.
And you know what? Wait a minute. Do you know why they left? Because
it was New Jersey.
No,
It wasn't New
Brooklyn.
York City.
No,
It
go to
wasn't the
Brooklyn.
Mecca.
You
You
don't
weren't at the Garden.
Let me tell you what. After 7 games, let me tell
They
you
were
what
lost
Durant.
in
Let me
Miller.
tell you what the 3 big guys' wives said to them at the kitchen table. Honey, would have been so much easier to get to the Garden. Why did you sign here? You can't get to Brooklyn. People that live in front of the arena can't get to the arena on time. So, and by the way,
That's how I feel about Chris Gucci about Chop Suey.
It's like you can't get anywhere. It sucks. It's a pain in the ass. And your practice facilities in Westchester. But I don't even know where Brooklyn. God for what are they? They probably at Manhattan College.
No, it's right there at the Barclays. It's right.
Okay, so
it's
at
right
least
there.
they have that. The
'Cause
whole
that's where I
thing
had,
stinks.
that's where I had my tryout on their
I would
practice
be
court.
unless I work for Sikorsky Aircraft. I want to be dropped in on top of the Garden. That's why the Knicks suck. Anyway, I digress.
The Dolan family will kill the Knicks as long as they have ownership. Go to Vegas and go to the Sphere. Go.
I heard it's a cool theater,
Dolan
but it's
also,
expensive.
Dolan
It's expensive.
here's the
all
thing.
right.
Here's
It's
the thing.
expensive enough to get OG. That's
Here's
how
the thing.
expensive it was.
Dolan got out of the way of the New York Rangers, and look at what's happened over there.
That's a great
They're the
example.
also hired
That's
team
a prime
in the
example.
league right now.
Right.
Listen, when they hired, I almost said Keith Jackson instead of Phil Jackson.
Oh, let me tell you about
Hey,
Keith
when I
Jackson.
go down, imagine Keith Jackson instead of Phil Jackson. Oh, when they get done down
With
there,
the tight
the
end for the
Knicks are
Phillies.
going to come back. Listen, I don't. Dolan's an asshole. We know that, but I think he tried a few times and it backfired on him because nobody wants to play for the Knicks. It's nothing to do with the ownership.
Speaking of the
Let me
Knicks,
tell you
check
something.
clears.
speaking of the Knicks, at the mecca of all restaurants where there's signees, like where Lawrence Taylor just was over there at the Woodbridge Brewery across the street from Absolute Eyewear, the one and only, my favorite Knick of all time, will be there signing autographs at the end of January, Mr. John Starks. So I will definitely be checking out Starks.
Is he
that
bringing his daughter, who's hot as hell? She was a
Jesus
rock
Christ,
star for a
Jimmy.
while.
Oh my
No, she's like
God.
35 now. Starks
Oh,
is,
thank
he owns a
God.
car
Geez,
dealership.
fucking weirdo.
See what happens when you play for the Knicks? You end up
Talking
with the
about
Woodbridge
me.
Brewery.
Stop cursing. Now you're horny for 10-year-olds.
So,
Just because Jeffrey Epstein, I mean, come on. What's the guy?
Save
I
that
know
for your
we-
podcast.
I know we
Fair enough. Excellent.
the podcast that when is that happening?
So this is it, Jimmy. You're not gonna have to. This is my last show.
Well, I want you to start your own podcast.
I
and
am.
you
I
don't listen to me.
understand. Get off. Steve. Get off.
No, that's not what it is at all.
Stop.
I thought the Washington. I know we touched on it a little bit. Washington over Texas was a wild game. Michigan over Alabama was also a good game, overtime. So the finals will be Washington and Michigan. I'm rooting for Washington because they just haven't lost a game, and I can't stand Harbaugh at Michigan. But I think Michigan's going to roll. That's my prediction. I also, let's see. By the way, that movie Rebel Moon on Netflix, unwatchable. Those of you scoring at home, the movie sucks.
I didn't see that. That was terrible.
It's awful.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to be now. Next week's show is going to be on Wednesday. Why? Because I'm going to be in the greater Los Angeles area. I'm going out there for a memorial for my good buddy Eddie Driscoll, who was a huge Knick and Giant fan and a good buddy of mine and a talented bastard. He passed away a couple weeks ago, and they're having a huge Irish wake at the Foxfire Lounge in North Hollywood, which is the greatest bar in Los Angeles. Look it up, the Foxfire. We're going there for that. And also I'm doing a show at the Hollywood Improv on Sunday night and 2 other shows. I'm going to be doing stand-up all week, which is cool. And I also got a show in Ramsey on January 19th. And so that's my situation there. All right, I think that's about it. But also don't forget about the Pine Tar Bar and Grill. Hopefully, I'm going to be down there for a playoff game. 121 South Main Street, Forked River, New Jersey, 609-489-4286. Also, if you're struggling with life, Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. Give her a call. She's a therapist. She'll either help you out or tell you where you need to go to get help. She's good people and a sponsor of the show. We love her for that. And listen, it's a new year here at Shea. The playoffs for NFL will be decided this week. The Giants, of course, will be home. And that's about it. That's about all for my show here, unless I'm forgetting something, Dave. I think we're live on Instagram. So hello, Instagram.
It did not work.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll figure that out, I think. Because at least I'm not seeing any kind of.
I did see some people. I don't know. I have to fix that, I guess.
Yeah. Are you a professional account? Yes, right? I mean, we could talk about this.
It says it's streaming.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing
Official Jimmy Palumbo?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it over here.
Before we go, it could be, I don't know what show, when I'll return. Hopefully, Jimmy will be back from LA in good spirits, and maybe I'll be back on Wednesday. But I do want to show the cards real quick before I go. It will take under 20 seconds. I just opened a fresh pack, and here we go. We have a first player that I know you guys know, Paul Molitor.
Yeah, great hitter.
Great
Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. That's a big card there. Let's continue. And I know you guys know we're talking about Marge Schott earlier to bring up the Cincinnati Reds. We have Dave Concepcion. I know you guys know Dave Concepcion. Well. Very good player back in the day.
Big Red Machine.
I know you guys know this well. I went to baseball camp with his son, Gary Matthews.
Gary Matthews,
very good player.
Another good player.
Very good player.
Yeah, try to get it in front of the camera next time. All right, we're moving along.
Okay. I'm trying to move fast, Jimmy.
Flip to the next guy. Okay. Flip to the next guy.
You guys remember this guy too, Bob Forsch?
Bob Forsch,
pitcher.
Okay. Yeah, I do
had
remember
a brother
him.
in the league
brother
as
Ken
well.
Forsch.
That's right. Very good, Jimmy.
You go. For three, got it. Palumbo with 6 points in the 8-13.
Yeah, late in the third, Jimmy bricks one up, and we have Alfredo Griffin, the shortstop from
Try
Toronto.
to move it over a little bit. You're way off. And Dave Sturchio has briefly left the show.
And the last one is Dave.
Oh, Dave Parker, but of course.
He was the Cobra. It was a
Only because he couldn't figure out how to get it fucking centered on the screen. I was like, if I leave, maybe it'll get even closer.
All right.
Dave Sturchio has that kind of power now. He can just come in and out of the show. Matter of fact, I think in the new year, I don't even know if I'm going to do my own show anymore. I'm just going to I'll have like a guest host every week, and I'll just get my royalties on this. And that will be able to pay a gumball machine here at Shea.
Maybe
anyway,
you can fill it with cashews.
Listen, happy New Year, everyone. I wish everyone a happy and healthy New Year. I wish the three of us a healthy, financially a good year. The days of listing credits are long gone for me. NYPD Blue for 3. Yes, that counts. Matter of fact, when I had some of my credits, it wasn't even a 3-point game. So it's like a young Dave DeBuscher. Anyway, that's it, Dave. I hope you have a good year. I know you got all kinds of crap going on with Chop Sports and all that craziness you got over there. Steve, I know you'll be doing your podcast. What's going to be called again?
Roman's Rundown.
Roman's Rundown. When are you going to start that?
We'll see. Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday when you're on.
Well,
we'll see soon. Hopefully, shortly, I'll be talking to Dave. I'll be picking you guys' brains. I'm hopefully looking forward to getting started within the next couple weeks.
I will come on your first show.
I appreciate that, Jimmy.
I will help
really
launch your show. That's what I do here. This is not going to be a Johnny Carson, Joan Rivers scenario. I will come and
I appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully you bring some cornholes and a couple of things that you got
maybe I can get cornhole to sponsor your show. I mean, listen, that's not the first time I've lost a sponsor. At this point, Jimmy Palumbo Show sponsored by Eileen Palumbo here when she changes her credit card.
Have a great trip out to LA. Do a great job with your stand-up. Be funny as you are. And we look forward to seeing you on your back.
And if anybody's, hopefully by then, my Colonial pen commercial will be
That's
airing.
big.
'Cause
You know what?
otherwise-
I was at the bagel place today, and an older Colonial Penn commercial played, and I was like, "This guy stinks. Where's Jimmy?"
Where's Jimmy? I'm much better. They got to put me in there. I also got a pilot I shot is going to be zoomed on Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I play like a kind of an Archie Bunker-esque guy, not as harsh though, and I'm hoping that goes somewhere. And hopefully the new season now, new auditions. This stand-up gig is pretty cool. The Hollywood Improv is your classic, big old school. Like you got the Comedy Store, the Improv, and the Laugh Factory, the three big ones. This is like that old school. You see it on some of those older. It's still a big comedy club.
Is that the one that Pauly Shore's mother owned?
No, that's the Comedy Store.
That's the big one too, right?
Yeah, that's probably the most famous one. Is on, it's on the strip.
Okay.
This one
Pauly
is
Shore's
on,
mother owns that.
Mitzi. Yeah.
Remember Pauly Shore? Yeah,
I love Pauly Shore. I just didn't know his mom was
Yeah,
involved.
the Weasel.
Yeah, she just died only a couple years ago, and he runs
He
it.
runs it. He runs
As
it.
a matter of fact, catch the documentary on that. It's wild.
I mean, if you
Comedy
look
Store's
at
a
the
stuff
stuff
thing.
he did in the '90s, my goodness.
I
God.
still quote Son-in-Law like a madman.
So
Like Son-in-Law is such a
terrible,
great
but
movie.
Unbelievable.
Pauly Shore for 3. Got it. And Pauly Shore, you know what's funny? Right now, I feel bad for Kyle because I was going to bet whether Russell Wilson or Pauly Shore got more airtime. And Russell Wilson with a huge lead until Comedy Store. And he wants to talk it over. All right, everybody. This show went
Very
too
good.
long. I'll see you guys later. Dave's face is
soon.
telling me
Safe trip.
he doesn't want to do this anymore.
Good.
I'm good.
All right, Dave.
Take care,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thanks, guys.
Talk to you
Appreciate
later.
it. Take care.
See ya.